Do not blank, Graham. Strict team instructions. Do not blank. Do not blank, Graham. Done it. Right, can I fish for bream for the rest of the match now? Welcome to the River Thames. I've got about 4 minutes, maybe 3. Start the match today. I'm fishing on the River Thames. I'm fishing a teams event. I'm fishing for Colmic A4. And I'm on the River Thames at Culham. This is where we are. I'm on peg H2. The river is in a better condition than it was a couple of weeks ago. It's not perfect. It is going down, probably just before the flood season at the end of the month. But I'm looking to fish, catch some fish on the pole feeder today, and maybe a few little bleak down this inside, because they're very strict team instructions today, which is do not blank. I'm going to fish 13 metres on the pole feeder. Like I mentioned, I might come shorter on the pole feeder if there's too much rubbish or it's flown a little bit too hard. I'm not allowed to test with the pole feeder until the match starts, because you're not allowed anything that can introduce bait into the water, so you can't check it with a feeder to start with. I think that's the all in. Right, I'm going to assume it was the all in. I can hear poles getting shipped out, so let's go for it. It's a bit awkward today. I've got a high bank behind me. I might struggle a little bit with the pole feeder, but it is what it is. He's definitely boarding it to my right. Or they are. I think there's 2 anglers, one either side of the river. They're both very keen to put a lot of bait in. Oh, jackpot. That's that sorted out. So we'll switch this for a hook length. Just going to start on an 017, 3 foot long to a size 16. To start with. Double maggot with the goal of trying to catch us a quick roach. Start with some casters, a few maggots. Sort this side tray out in a minute, it's a bit of a mess. Okay. Okay, here we go. Do not blank, Graham. Strict team instructions. Do not blank. Do not blank, Graham. stand up for this, am I? Done it. Right, can I fish for bream for the rest of the match now? So now I'm instantly thinking, what's next? I'm going to see if I can catch a few of these and then just sort of see what I can put in the net for the first half an hour, 45 minutes. You know, there will be, you know, my view is that, you know, the end peg on this section is fantastic for bream. The one next to it, I also expect them to catch bream. So, you know, if I'm going to do any good in the section, it's not going to come from a pounder roach. So at some point I do need to, you know, make a commitment for bigger fish. Right, I haven't not blanked, I've got 2 fish now. Captain's going to be chuffed with me, I think. I've got to dodge the tree and try and net the fish. It's a dace. Okay. Right, I'm just gonna strike it, ship it. Strike it, ship it. Strike it, ship it, net it. Done. I only caught 1 fish, I think, in the first 30 minutes. And now I've had 4. There's 3 fish in the second 30 minutes. A bit more efficient, a bit more confident now I've caught. So maybe in the 30 minutes after that I could catch 6 fish. Almost straight away, it's not the bait. Just the maggots they're having. I don't think it is anyway. Maybe they're sitting there, but because of the ground bait, I'm not sure that's the case. But anyway, keep going. Nice fish. 3 ounces. Bait's not come out the feeder that time. I did squeeze it quite hard. I think that's a better fish. And right, it is a better fish. Hello, Mr. Chub. Thank you very much. Classic mistake then, I should have broken that at 6 sections, not 5. And then it got caught in the reeds. You could tell straight away it was a better bite. It was like a thump and then a drop back. So it felt like there was a better fish for sure. Happy with that? A nice day. So just going to stay on 2 maggots. If that chub was happy for it, still going to put in these pinkies and caster and a few big maggot. Just going to keep with that. I'm not going to put any chopped worm in. All the time I'm catching these, and I want to catch these if I can, as I said, for another half an hour at least, just to see how much I do get. But because I've picked up that chub that's slightly better, I'm less inclined to want to change what I'm doing. It's taking too long, isn't it? It's taking too long. So what I'll do is I'll do one more. Double maggot, and then we've got to watch this time to bite. I've held this belief for quite a while now that you ball it, you get a load of fish come in, and then within an hour they've eaten everything and gone, and the bait that I'm putting in through the feeder is not enough to hold them, and they go. I want to be kind of strict with this. You know, I can imagine if there was a bank runner behind me, they'd be saying, you know, it's too long, you need to think about balling it again. Bring those fish back into the peg. And today's the day I'm going to find out. convinced they've gone. So what would happen then in last winter, I would now be like, oh, I need to top up. I'll put like a ball in, or I'll start putting chopped worm in because I think I need some scent or something, but that's not what we're going to do today. Today, I'm going to measure out another 10 balls and I'm going to put them in. Okay, 10 more balls. Caster. Well, certainly everyone will be able to see if this is the right thing to do anyway, because I'm streaming it. Can't get to my bait because I've got loads of balls of ground bait in the way, so we'll just put this out plain. Right, everybody, 10 more balls. So it was quite interesting. So it was a slow first 20 minutes. After I'd done everything, that got me to about 11:30. One fish, missed a couple of bites. Then it was good for 30 minutes. And then slowed down a bit, then caught a little chub. And then nothing for 15 minutes. And then so I've reballed it. Something like that. As I'm saying, it's just when the river's this speed, I think that after an hour that balling's gone. There's nothing left. And that's why I think it was a little indication then. You've got to do it again. And maybe that's all the proof that I need. Andy? All I've got to do now is get another bite off a roach pretty quickly, and I'll have I'm halfway to deciding that's exactly the right thing to have done. So it's 1:45. What I'm not sure about is whether I should reball with 5 balls or 10, and should I throw them or cup them. But I think if it's the case that that bait has just left the peg and you're effectively restarting it, then why wouldn't you do exactly what you did at the beginning, which is 10 balls and throw them? Because you know the reason you're doing it is because the fish have gone, so you're trying to create that noise and chuck that bait in to bring them back, you know. So I think it's the right thing to do. Again, there was just an indication, but it felt more like debris hitting the line. Wasn't that classic, you know, tap, tap, tap. Well, if I'd have had two roach on the bounce, I would have thought I'd sussed it to topping it up, but now I'm not sure at all. So I think it's time to get the chopped worm scissors out. I was, excuse me, I was kind of convinced in my mind that they'd moved away, and if I reballed it, I'd bring them back. And it's not worked. So instead, let's get some chopped worm in. No one that's on there. What's going on there? Let's get some chopped worm in and see if I can make a difference that way. Put that chopped worm in some ground bait. Make that into a ball. Super neat. That looks pretty good. More ground bait. It's like 150 ml of chopped worm in there. Something like that. Get off with that. Right, and now let's chop up some more. in through the ground bait feeder. So I'm just going to use a little bit of worm on the hook. I say a little bit, it's a bream sized bit of worm to start with. Get some of that chopped worm in there. Still put some casters in it and load that feeder up. You know, if those roach were going to come back, then I wanted them to come back on that second ball, and they balling in, and they haven't done it. So now I'm changing the peg. I'm now looking for really bream, chub and big perch. Not the fish I wanted to when I saw the float, not the float, the tip bouncing, but I'll take it. Oh, that's a nice roach. It does feel like the flow's picked up and there's more stuff flowing down the river. I can see, you know, bits of wood and sticks and stuff. I don't mean like planks, but there's a few branches I can see, sticks in the river. So we're going to fish 2 dendrobinas now. Nice standout bait, size 12 hook, nice and positive. More chopped worm and see if I can entice a bream or chub. I'm not fussy. It just looked like there's a lot more leaves coming down the river. I don't know why. Well, it definitely looks like the flow's increased a bit. Nice positive big bait. Hour and 20 minutes, need to catch a bream. Simple as that. Hello ladies and gentlemen. Chub or a perch. Not massive. It's what I need. I need it to not get stuck in the bushes and these trees. Oh, come on, this is too hard. Now, some more of these, please. I've got an hour left. That's what I want. No, you're not. A £5 bream. But you are a nice pound chub. And I'm very grateful for that. Just coming up on the final hour, I'll do a little recap. I started off by fishing, putting 10 balls at the start. went over the top of it with double maggot on a size 16 MWGB 017, and I'd fished that so it was small enough for the roach, but big enough and strong enough to get me a bream if there was an early bream to be had. Didn't really get anything. I had a couple of bites, caught a fish, little roach, and then it sort of picked up after the first, I don't know, 25 minutes. I was getting some bites, caught some roach, caught some dace. Not many, but 8 fish probably. Caught gudgeon, and I caught a little chub as the bites were getting more and more scarce. And I sat on it for a little bit longer, then decided to restart the peg. I think it was probably just past the first hour at that point. So I thought, I've drawn some fish in and they've just drifted off. So I just reballed it with 10 more balls. Seeing if that would bring the fish back. It brought one fish back. I had a roach on the second put in, or maybe, yeah, first or second put in again. And then nothing. So then I've decided, after a while, to switch to chop worm. I started putting chop worm in. I've had then a roach, our biggest roach of the day, probably at that point, maybe about 4 ounces, and then I've carried on putting chop worm in, upgraded to double dendrobina, bigger hook, size 12, still on 017, that's strong enough, and then I've had that little chub, and now I'm just going to sit on this for the rest of the match and try and catch myself another 1 or 2 of those, or a bream. That's what I'm looking for, or a 5-pound chub. I don't mind that. If you're enjoying the video or the film or the live stream, however it is you see it, and you're not subscribed, if you could consider hitting that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up. It helps with the visibility of the channel, and it's, you know, it's a free way to support what I'm doing, and helps put, you know, my content in front of more people that might be interested. So that'd be great. And if you are subscribed, then I really appreciate that. I think we're just we're not far off, just over 1.1k, so we're coming up on that milestone, and that's under 2 years, so I'm really happy with that. So I appreciate your support. Thanks for all the comments and the tips, and you know, it's to a promising winter season coming up, I think. Oh, I think that's the all out. Is there a fish on there? No, there isn't. Just show you the rig. So size 12, 3 foot to a Guru speed bead, and then I've got the feeder on just on a quick link. As you see, it's not tangled all day long. Right, I find it's really reliable. And then this is I'm caught up on the rig, brilliant. This is the smart bit of the rig, as it were. We've got this 2 sets of stops, this piece of pink hydro, and this sort of D shape of line. So what happens is when you get a bite, the fish pulls against this pink hydro, and if it's a good fish, it just bombs out, and then you're playing the fish on 8-pound ST to black hydro. So that's it. As always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will catch you on the next one. See you later. Ta-da. No, I'll try that again. I never get that timing right, do I? Right. Here we go. Right. I will catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Ta-da.